So today we're going to talk about division, and we're going to talk about whole numbers by decimals. You know how sometimes when we were multiplying decimals, we were surprised by our answers. So we have whole numbers, and we're dividing them up into parts. So what's our answer going to be if I have two whole dollars and I have to divide them up into groups of 4/10? Is my answer going to be a whole, or is my answer going to be a part? What do you think? $2, and if I'm going to divide them up into groups of 4/10. Let's see. So I'm going to follow the same 4 steps I've been following for a long time. Write it horizontally, estimate. So I'm going to leave this at 2, and I'm going to divide this one into 4/10. I'm going to estimate this to a half. How many halves fit into 2 wholes? How many halves split into 2 wholes? Well, I could estimate that by like this whole is 2 halves. This whole is 2 halves. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be about 4. This estimation might have been hard for you because you've never really divided by decimals, but it'll get easier. So the way that I do this is I outline the first number. Let's write that down. We are going to outline the first number. So by outlining, I mean 1 whole, 2 wholes. So how much am I talking about? This time I had wholes, so it's just kind of obvious because that's how many I had right here, but I'm still going to follow those same steps. I outline. So this is what I do first. Second, so what I'm going to do second is shade in the second number. Over and over. So I'm going to shade them in. So I'm going to use my 2 different colors. I'm going to shade in 4/10. What does 4/10 look like? 1, 2, 3, 4/10. I shaded in 4/10. I'm going to change colors. Now I'm going to shade in another 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to my original color, and I'm going to shade in another 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay that they were in 2 different blocks. I ran out of space here, so I had to continue over there. That's okay. I'm going to do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to shade in another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I shaded in 4. Well, can we make sense of that? How many tenths did you end up having? 10 over here and 10 over here. End up having 20 tenths. How many groups of 4 go into 20 tenths? 5. So here's my first group, second group, third group was spread across 2, fourth group, fifth group. So my answer was 5 whole groups. 5 wholes. So when I had a whole divided by a decimal, I ended up with a whole. Okay, let's see if that stays the same for every problem. So my next one tells me to use base 10 drawings. So I don't need all my colors. I'm going to do it with a pencil because there's a chance I might make a mistake here. I like to use pens in the videos because they show up better, but I don't want to make a mistake with my mess up. So just like before, I showed the first number. So I'm going to show the first number by drawing 1, 2, 3. 3 holes. I have to divide this up into groups of 2500s, 25 cents. Well, I can't divide that up into 2500s, so I have to do this. I have to trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have to put them into groups of 2500s. But I have to split these up. I have to split these up. So how can I do that? I have to split some of these up into hundredths. So I'm going to choose to cross this off and turn it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see how far that gets me. I decided I am going to use my 2 different colors. So what's my first group? My first group gives me, I'm going to do this a different way, sorry. My first group gives me 2 of these, 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First group. Let's do another one. 2 of those, 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how far have I gotten? I've gotten one set. I had to trade some, and I ended up with 2 groups. See if that pattern continues. Let's trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because 1 rod is equal to 10 bits, 1/10 is equal to 10 hundredths. So let's do it. Let's put them into groups. I need 2/10, and I need 5 hundredths. Cross off 5 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this group is 2/10 and 5 hundredths, 25 hundredths. Let's do it again. 2/10, another 5 hundredths. 2/10, another 5 hundredths. Is anybody noticing a pattern and can predict what my answer is? This group turned into these. This group turned into these. Can anybody predict what's going to happen with these other 4 groups? Probably. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to trade that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you notice, I've been putting these into groups of 5s and 5s, so my 10/10ths or 10 hundredths are organized. So let's do another one. 2 groups, 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 groups, 5 hundredths. 2/10ths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. This one turned into these 2. So this gives me 2, this gives me 2 groups, this gives me 2 groups. Do I think this one's going to give me 2 groups? Let's see. Trade it in for 10 hundredths. Now, 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. Let's keep doing it. Let's trade this one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 groups. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. Let's trade this one in. Now let's put this down here. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. Last one. I have to do some trading, so I have some hundredths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. 2/10ths, 5 hundredths. So could I have figured this out a different way? Could I have looked at how many quarters are inside of $3? Maybe. This equals 4 quarters equal $1. If I pretend this is a quarter, 4 quarters equal $1. 4 quarters equal $1. 4 quarters equal $1. So how many quarters do I have? 4, 8, 12. So I did not estimate on this one on purpose because I don't think that we have enough experience with how these decimals work for us to have estimated appropriately. So again, whole number divided by decimal equals whole. Let's write that down. Whole divided by decimal equals whole. I wonder if that pattern is going to continue to stay true. Whole divided by decimal equals whole. Let's do another example. Whole number divided by decimal. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to estimate this one because I'm going to estimate this to a whole. 8/10, that's kind of close to a whole. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So I'm going to outline how many I have. I start with the first number, and I have 4. Now I'd like you to pause the video and you tell me what we should do. We just did this in another example. What do I do with 8/10? Use your 2 colors. Go ahead and pause and you do it. All right, let's come back and show exactly what we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm doing tenths. Tenths are rods. That's one group of 8/10. Let's do our second. Check to see if this is what you did. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many whole groups did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer should have been 5. 5 whole groups. So let's talk about base 10 drawings. Marcus brought $4 to the school store. Each eraser he bought cost